My name is Ademola Arikbabu, and this is a demo of the Agent Intensive Capstone project of the 5-day AI Agent Intensive course with Google. For this capstone project, I've gone with Agents for Good Track, and I'll be going ahead with the demo. First, I would go ahead and share my notebook. So this is AgentFleet. This is a multi-agent emergency response system. So this is a 911 agent fleet. It's a multiple agent working through different scenarios um, to help save lives. As part of this project, I have 6 different agents. One agent responsible for ingesting um, event data from different sources. For this demo, the ingest agent gets data from social media, from sensors, IoT device, and from emergency feeds. All of those, of course, for demo purposes, I have gone ahead and mocked data and simulate how that will work. And then the ingest agent gets those raw data, normalize them, and and pass those normalized data to the verifier agent. The verifier agent has some tools that is written to help verify the legitimacy of the event, and based on some in-house calculation, it determines if those events are real or not, and then it passes it to the summarizer agent, which will go ahead and summarize all of with the information it has. It will write a summary of the event, and then the triage agent would classify this based on the summary and all the information, classify the events as a low, medium, high, or critical. And then there's a dispatcher agent that go ahead and communicates recommendation and actionable steps. And for the last step, I have a dashboard agent just to show the create a table and documents all of the information for the event and the results of all of the agents in the table. So uh, for a UI overview, I'm gonna go ahead and share. So this is the code running locally, exposed through ADK web and running on localhost. And so for now, I'll manually trigger the event. Let me start talking. Um, let's say ingest Twitter event. So here, the the first agent would go ahead. So this is the root agent um, streaming all of the event. But if we go ahead and see how we got to the end. So the first agent is an ingest agent that ingests the data it streams from Twitter. For this, I have a local data fed into this, so it reads this data and sends its response. Calls some tools to extract some things from the data. So the first agent just really normalizes the data and gives the result here. The second agent, which is the verifier agent, has some tools um, that it calls extract claim tools, verify claim tools, and score reliability tools to help determine the legitimacy and if this is a verified solid claim. And so it calls the tools and gets all that data, and then based on that comes up with this information. And so this is the second agent in the fleet. And then there's the summarizer agent that does and say here's a summary of the incident. So just gives us a good summary that we can use for communication. Um, and then the fourth agent has its own tools, classify severity tool, and it classifies the severity of the event. So low, medium, high. And so I think this has been classified as a medium severity with some explanation and some scores based on on some functions that we have passed onto it. And then we have the dispatcher agent that is responsible for actually dispatching, uh, calling some tools to notify people to get some actionable items or some actions done. So here are the tools, and here's the output. And based on the medium severity, there's some recommended actions. And yeah, and then the last agent, which for now is the dashboard agent that just kind of creates a dashboard, a table of what is going on. So here it calls the create dashboard markdown tool. And if we look at actually what the result of this is, if I can expand this, it's a table, um, incident response dashboard, date that it was last updated, and then it just kind of has some tables and some things that we can refer to later. And yeah, that's the emergency uh, agent fleet for my demo. And I can go ahead and do one more um, in just emergency event. Yeah, the root agent, because I'm streaming, gathering all of the information at once. But once this is done, we can go through and step through each of the agents response. So in just emergency event, manually triggering this fleet with this prompt, but ideally this would be like an automated um, triggered agent fleet. So this is the event that was passed in that they saw from the emergency system. That's the first agent. The second agent did this thing with the tools, extracted claims, saw some that this is not reliable, gave it a 0, and we have a summary agent summarizing all of the details, and it has its own score for it, also 0. And then the fourth agent, the triage agent, still confirms that this is a low severity event. And then the dispatcher agent has some action items here, mostly log and see, um, and just maybe for informational purposes. And then the final agent, the dashboard agent, would update the table. So this should have two records. Right now it's not as clean, but the idea is if there's a website or some table that is public facing that we can, or internally, something neat that we can always refer to see so far how we're doing, the scores and all that. So yeah, that's it. And thank you for listening and watching. And this was nice and easy to do with ADK.